Hi everyone, I'm Dr.CY. I'm going to talk about disasterology in this video. Many of you probably say that you never heard of disasterology. Disasterology, which is all about disaster studies. As a discipline, disasterology is not yet clearly defined. I would say that disasterology is a discipline in which skills, knowledge, and experiences from almost all fields converge and cooperate to enhance the resilience of disasters themselves. To put it simply, disasterology is a discipline that involves analyzing and strategizing the possibility of losing something. Disaster risks, called hazards in other words, mean the possibility of losing the value and or assets that are currently being enjoyed by external forces such as natural events or by the stress of unpredictable human behavior or intentions. Disaster management is often described using circle diagrams like this. However, I would say that this cycle diagram is not correctly displayed because this cycle, which started after a disaster strikes, will never return to its original position. Similar to the springs of our beloved Slinky dog, the tip of the spring, starting from the head of Slinky, leads to the body of his tail. This means that in any disaster, our individuals, communities, and our society have learned lessons from them, and the infrastructure has been rebuilt to meet new technology and standards, making stronger. And international times and circumstances changes as well. Instead of a ring of in a 2D, think of this as a 3D spiral. On an individual level, property and assets, level of education, family size, health problems, insurance, social status and affiliation, and personal psychological states, etc., exist as risks and they determine personal resilience. Depending on the type and magnitude of the disaster, the individual may be able to cope with the situation at different times, but it can be a social problem where the scale is beyond the capacity of the individual. For example, if you lose your job, your income decreases, your household debt will increase, and your couple might be divorced, and your family disbanded. In other words, in order to protect our families and property, we need to quickly recognize hazards that are perceived as risks and know how to deal with them. Strengthening our resilience is a necessary step that we must take to overcome the crisis. Social impacts include rethinking total risk management structure and elements and rebuilding or updating a total recovery strategy. Medical support, such as rescue, management of international support and assistance. The identification and rebuilding of infrastructure. The status of IT technology, including communications called software infrastructure, security issues at all levels and sectors, etc. Risk management also has to identify environmental impacts. Any of these could break down the social system, and our government may increase taxes to recover the system. Disasterology include the definition of hazards, require scientific analysis such as the identification of disaster occurrence mechanisms and simulations based on scientific background. On-site survey is also important to confirm the level of damages. Thus, most scholars would agree that disasterology should cooperate in almost every problem we have to solve before and after disaster in the same framework which is called disaster. The ultimate goal of disasterology is to make a continuous effort to pass on a safe, pleasant, and beautiful Earth planet to the next generation.